The sunlight is soft today, gentle, golden, and patient. It pours through the tall windows, brushing against the quiet figure standing on a gray-carpeted floor. There, in the silence, Kim Taehyung, known to the world as V of BTS, breathes life into stillness. No music, no words, no performance. Just light, texture, and emotion woven together like a quiet poem that only the heart can read. His Instagram post appeared without warning. No caption. No grand announcement. And yet, the world stopped for a moment. Millions of fans, scattered across continents and time zones, paused as if the glow from his photos reached through their screens, asking them to listen. Not with their ears, but with their hearts. Within minutes, the numbers began to climb. Likes in the millions, comments overflowing with love, awe, and the familiar disbelief that Taehyung always seems to evoke. In one frame, he stands tall in a brown leather jacket engraved with Celine Paris. The light spills across his shoulder, highlighting the texture of the leather as though the sun itself has chosen to become part of his outfit. The room is simple, uncluttered, gray carpet, clean walls, a quiet stage for something profoundly human. There's an elegance in his stillness, the kind that doesn't demand attention but earns it through presence alone. Fans describe it as breathtaking minimalism, a visual whisper that somehow speaks louder than any shout. Then, the mood shifts. The next image breathes in the warmth of the outdoors. Green leaves, afternoon sun, and Taehyung walking in earth-toned clothes that blend effortlessly with nature. The air seems to move around him, stirring his hair in the late autumn breeze. There's no posing, no pretense. Just a man walking, lost in his own rhythm. Fans online call it a scene from a dream, while others write that it feels like watching peace take human form. Each photograph feels like a world of its own, yet together they form something larger. A story of light, solitude, and quiet confidence. One fan writes, "He doesn't need to smile to show emotion. He just exists and we feel it." Another adds, "It's like the air around him carries warmth." When the monochrome image appears, everything changes again. The world turns black and white, and Taehyung's gaze becomes the center of gravity. His features, sharp yet soft, emerge from the contrast like a painting come to life. It's not just a portrait. It's a moment suspended between strength and vulnerability. Fans describe it as timeless, comparing it to an old film still, one that could belong to any era, yet feels undeniably present. The series ends softly, with a small smile. Barely there, but enough to melt through the screen. It's not for the camera. It feels personal, directed toward the one holding it. That faint smile becomes the emotional release after the silence. A warm exhale at the end of a long poetic melody. The comments that flood and echo a single word over and over, real. It's strange how Taehyung can say so much by saying nothing at all. In a world that constantly shouts for attention, he chooses quiet. Through soft lighting and stillness, he reminds us that beauty doesn't always arrive with noise. Sometimes it's found in the space between moments, in the pause, in the breath, in the light that falls gently across a room. Fashion experts call his aesthetic effortless luxury, but fans know it's something deeper than that. It's sincerity wrapped in simplicity. It's art that doesn't try to impress, only to connect. Every fabric, every beam of light, every motionless frame carries the same message. That real beauty is not about perfection, it's about presence. As the final frame fades and the scrolling stops, what lingers isn't just admiration, it's calm. A shared stillness among millions of people who, for a brief moment, all felt the same warmth. In the end, Taehyung's photos become more than images. They are reflections of silence, of soul, of the quiet courage to simply be. And maybe that's why fans keep coming back to them. Because somewhere between the light and the shadows, between the luxury and the loneliness, we find a piece of ourselves reflected back. Soft, sincere, and beautifully human.